so hard. Now everything is easy 'cause of you.
Welcome, everybody. This is our podcast, Thoughts for Rent, Realtors Keeping It Real. And I am so excited with my co-host today, and we will get into that a little bit. I am Jenni McKenna. I'm the owner-broker of McKenna Property Management. And who is next to me today?
Hi, Jenni. My name is Emily Ezel, and I'm the Director of Operations for the real estate team in McKenna Property Management, so the McKenna team at Keller Williams. I'm also Max Zerflu's executive assistant, and I've been a licensed realtor for 3 years.
What I like to say is Emily keeps Max on track.
Yep.
So a lot of you guys have heard Max and I when we've done our podcast. Max is not here today because I wanted to have Emily here so that we could have our conversation about attending the Keller Williams family reunion that was in Las Vegas, and a couple takebacks, or actually the big takeback that you and I really liked a lot.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, Emily she's being very humble. I am actually going to tell you a little bit more about Emily. Emily is so sharp. She is spot on. In fact, she made a video, which turned into one of my reels for Instagram yesterday with her creative mind. And she is just, I can't even tell you all the talents. And one of the things we found out a couple days ago is the McKenna team with Emily on it. Why don't you tell everybody what you were rewarded?
I believe that we were ranked the 199th team in Nevada. So there's a lot of teams.
Pretty darn amazing. So this last quarter, she is in the top 200 of every licensed real estate agent, commercial, residential, doesn't matter. Mm-hmm. And they got that award a couple days ago. Yeah. So congratulations.
Thank you. I think I think Melinda checked yesterday, there's about like 16,000 licensees. So it was cool that Max and I got that.
That right there just tells you how talented she is.
Thank you.
And I wanted to bring her on because I think Emily and I have this understanding of a lot of things that when we hear somebody, we gravitate to the same thing. We get excited about what we can do to bring it back into the business. Mm-hmm. I being in the property management world, Emily being in the sales and listing world. So, well, I say we dive right into it.
Sure.
So we attended Keller Williams family reunion, which is really just a bunch of crazy. It's like Disneyland for realtors, but like a boot camp because you're there, you're excited. Mm-hmm. Everybody's like, let's look. We got some keynote speakers, but boy, it's a boot camp.
It's a lot.
It is a lot.
It's a lot.
I walk out of there and I'm like, I need to take a nap. My brain is overload.
Yeah.
But the thing that was interesting for Emily and I is Gary Keller, the owner, founder of Keller Williams Realty. He had a session where he talked about 10 bold truths. Yeah. And I loved it.
Me too. It was my favorite.
So and we'll put this in our show notes. So we're only going to talk about a few of these. Yeah. But I am going to have all of the 10 bold truths in our show notes, and you can always reach out to us and we'll give you a copy of them. But why don't you start off, Emily, and tell everybody what these bold truths are?
And I also wanted to add too, this was Jenni and I's first one together. Mm-hmm. I had been the previous year with Max, but I had never attended with Jenni. So after this 10 bold truths, what was it, seminar in the morning, like 8 a.m., we both were like, oh, this is awesome. So I'm just going to read them right off the page. So number 1, happiness is a choice. Number 2, life is an inside job. 3, what you focus on expands. 4, the path is in the math. 5, there is no try. 6, life is not fair. 7, you fail your way to success. 8, where belief lives, fear can't. 9, no one succeeds alone. And 10, love is always the answer. So he pretty much, Gary went through every single bold truth and kind of expanded on it, just because it doesn't really some of them don't make sense right off the paper, but it was really insightful. So what we decided to do was bring that back to the office and start doing Bold Truth Wednesday, where either Jenni, Max, or myself will talk about a bold truth, show a video, and we've been doing it since February, every Wednesday.
And I like unpacking it on those Wednesdays because you can pick a video that kind of relates to it. You can use your own story, your own experience. Mm-hmm. But I think it really brings the team together. And we utilize it in our vocabulary.
Yeah.
So like when something happens and it really sucks, well, we go to the bold truth, which is life is not fair.
Or you fail your way to success. Yeah.
Or we could do the failure way to success. Usually they're complaining about something like, oh, somebody did this or somebody did that. And we always go, well, remember, life is not fair.
Or happiness is a choice. They apply to like every situation, which is great.
Emily is doing exactly what we do in the office. We really try and live by the bold truth so that we're all on this foundational road so that we can kind of remember to be just a better person and have a better outlook on life. So I know one of them is your favorite. It's number 4.
Yeah. Number 4, the path is in the math. I had never heard that before until this family reunion. And the way he explained it, I'm very analytical. I need reasoning and I need something. I can't just, happiness is a choice. It's okay, whatever. I need reasoning. And so this is how he explained the path is in the math. It's very analytical, which it's easier to grasp. From the moment our alarm clock goes off in the morning until the next morning alarm goes off again, numbers and math play a key role in our lives. So what's a number? A number is a mathematical object used to count, measure, and label. It represents the quantity of something and is present in all areas of math. And what is math? Math is actually a language with 4 basic operations: add, subtract, multiply, and divide. Pretty simple. And then he expands on that. So numbers and math are not the same thing. Numbers are the building blocks of math. Math is needed in every step of our life. And fundamentally, there is no math without numbers. To live your best life, you must know your numbers. So when I heard that, it was kind of like, what are my numbers? If I want to operate at the highest that I can, what are my numbers that will contribute to the math that I'm trying to replicate, if that makes sense, Yeah.
So what's one example that you went back to your life and you said, this is the number that I need for whatever it is that you wanted to accomplish?
So pretty broad. I know from just growing up in school and work that I need to be in a good headspace and I need to have a good attitude in order to produce and to work. So recently, I know that that's my number. If I want to math, I need to make sure that my head is clear, that I'm in a good attitude. And I also need to know another number, what's going to set me off? What's going to put me in a bad attitude? And that's actually helped me with my positivity and looking at things differently, because I'm constantly reminding myself, okay, if I'm not here, I'm not going to elevate or I'm not going to produce. So let's fix that. And just breaking it down like that has really helped me. Other small things. Okay, I know a number. I know that I need to wake up earlier. I can't have 20 minutes to get to work. It's going to ruin my day. I'm not going to be able to produce. That's a number.
So that's your alarm clock.
Yep.
That's a number.
Yeah, straightforward things.
And it's 20 minutes to get to work. So that's a number. So I'm starting to see here that throughout the day, Gary's not lying. This is a bold truth.
And there is math in it, like the numbers, okay, your commute, how much this, but it's also a mentality too. What are your numbers going to be to produce math? Math is your best life. So again, my attitude, okay, I know I need to have a good attitude. That's my number. Math, I'm going to produce,
That's really a good way to look at it. Yeah. I looked at it from the standpoint of in property management, there's a certain number that we had to have in our portfolio in order to pay all the bills.
Yeah.
So that's a number. Well, that number came from the number that it costs us to operate. So that's a number. So in my mind, I'm not as analytical as Emily and Max. I'm a gut feeling kind of girl. So I liked it from the standpoint of hit this number, you get this. Hit this number, you get this.
But it's good to have that number. Like, you have your numbers of how many properties you want to get. We have our number, our goal that we set. And it's good to see that, the big numbers, and then taking a number off when you close a property. And it helps motivate and produce math.
It's the path. It's the path of where you want to achieve. Well, I love that you like number 4. So one of my favorites, and I'll tell a little story, is the number 8. So number 8 is where belief lives, fear can't. So I decided many years ago, while I was running my first marathon ever, 26.2 miles, I'm at mile 3. I have my running buddies with me who happened to be Brian and Carolyn at the time. We were training for this, so we were all ran together. I looked over at Carolyn and Brian as I got my first photograph on the trail, and I said, "Hey guys, why don't we run a 50 miler sometime?"
Oh
Yeah, don't know why. I think I was probably in like
Runner's high.
Runner's high, probably. And we got done. We accomplished the San Francisco Marathon. We all did it, and it was great. We got back, and Brian said, "Hey, remember that 50 miler thing you talked about? I think I'm interested in that. That's something I want to do." And I kid you not. In fact, I just got goosebumps because I remember when he said that to me, there was like my stomach just dropped like on a roller coaster. And I'm like, what? I almost died at 26. I mean, I didn't want to tell him as I crossed the line that I was like literally feeling like I was dead. I'm like, there's no way I can do 50. So what we did, and it's just amazing when you're around great people, and Carolyn and Brian were great people, still are great people. They said, "Jenni, don't be afraid. Let's just do it. Let's do the training. Let's get into it. Let's believe that we can do it. Every time we run a little longer, that's just going to reinforce your belief. And there is no fear. You're going to prepare for it, and there is no fear." And we did it. We accomplished it. Hardest thing I've ever done in my entire life. Yes, there were moments that I cried while I was running. Yes, I was putting Band-Aids all over my feet because feet were bleeding. I felt like a ballerina. Every part of my foot was bleeding. But when I accomplished it, and I'll never want to do it again, but when I accomplished it, that bold truth lives in me in every aspect of my life. You cannot allow fear into your life. You can't. Fear will stop anything that you want to accomplish. So the easiest thing to do is believe it.
Yeah. And Gary explained too during family reunion, and it makes sense. Neurologically, fear and belief can't exist in your brain at the same time. They're different feelings. So the moment that you start to fear something, it's your brain can't accept belief. So you're either fearful or you're believing in something. They can't exist. It can't be two things at once. So if, where belief lives, fear can't,
So I know a lot of people that listen to our podcast, listen whether they're realtors or property managers, but also some individuals that are thinking about stepping out and doing their own business.
Sure.
And I can tell you that that's scary. It's scary. But the advice that I give is believe that you can do it. Prepare. I think prepare is always important. Prepare, but believe that you can do it, and don't let fear overrun it. Yep. So that was my favorite one. So
Yeah,
I believe
great.
that's number 8. So what's another one for you?
My other one that I love, where is it? Oh, 7. You fail your way to success.
I like that one.
And Gary, I'll go into it, but Gary explained it and it stuck with me. He said, you don't succeed your way to success. If you succeed, you don't, and he said the people that do, or that does occur, they're just lucky.
Yep.
And you fail your way to success. So he said it appears that success without any failings at all is extremely rare, if not literally impossible. The reason is because success always involves overcoming challenges and setbacks along the way. In fact, it is commonly said that anyone who succeeded without failing was lucky. It would seem that the reason why there is a popular belief that says success never comes without failing is because, except for maybe that incredibly rare exception, any success at something is a combination of all the failings it took to get there.
Amen.
I love that one.
Yep.
And I have had to learn this since I started working here. When I first started working before I was licensed, and we would have an escrow fall through or something that, happens a lot, I would be so upset, and I would be like, it's over. And Max was like, it's okay. Like, well, we're going to get it, sold again. It happens. And so now, I don't care anymore. We're failing our way to success. So every failed escrow or every failed listing, every failed buyer is pushing us to something better. And I had a client, I think about 2 years ago, right when I first got licensed. And this was before the big BBA thing. And I was showing her houses, whatever. She ended up going and working with another buyer's agent, never responded to me, and it destroyed me.
You took it personal?
Oh, yeah. I was so destroyed. And Max was like, it's okay. You're going to have so much more. And then I think about a month later, I sold my first house, and then 2 weeks after I sold 3.
Yep.
So it was that one buyer I lost, and then I gained these 4, closings so quickly after I was failing my way to
Well, and
success.
whatever ended up happening, you realize that maybe you should have gotten a buyer's broker agreement signed to protect you.
Yes.
So you end up being smarter
Oh, yeah.
on the next buyer because of what happened
Yep.
with that one.
And having the conversations too. What happened with that? I'm protecting myself now because we failed so much.
Yep.
And we're protecting our business, and I love that one.
And I like it when Gary says, when you succeed at something, you do the end zone dance.
Oh, yeah.
But what did you really learn? You didn't learn anything.
Yeah.
You just got lucky, or maybe that preparation worked for you. And yay, we get to do the end zone dance and we
Right.
accomplish what we accomplished.
Mm-hmm.
But I can tell you every single failure or every single thing that didn't go quite right, that, kind of was a hiccup or a bump in the road. Those are the ones that are life lessons for me.
Totally.
That's why I'm sitting right here today
Yeah.
with a property management company that we manage over 1,300 properties.
Mhm.
We didn't do that by success. We did that by a lot of failures.
Yep.
And because I did not go to college to learn to be a business owner, I have actually said that I've gone through the college of hard knocks,
Yeah.
because
Trial
every
and
single
error.
thing that I started that I messed up on, I learned from it, and then I did it better the next time, and I learned from it and did it better the next time.
Yeah.
So I'm a believer in failure way to
It
success. as
applies
well.
too in work, relationships, anything. And in the moment, it's hard if you fail at something, or if
Mhm.
a friendship falls out, relationship, or something doesn't go right. It's hard to look at the big picture, but having that mantra and that bold truth, if something happens, you can remind yourself, I'm failing my way to success.
And that bold truth doesn't say, "Oh yeah, quit."
No.
It says, "Keep going, baby," just like Dory. Keep on swimming.
Yeah.
Keep
Keep
going.
on failing.
Yeah.
That's
Keep on failing. That is absolutely a good mantra to
Yep.
have. Keep on failing. So I wanted to just talk about the other one that I really liked, which is what you focus on expands. So I know for a fact that when I wanted to buy a certain car, I never realized how many of those cars were on the road. But then all of a sudden, when I had it on my mind and I was focusing on, is it good gas mileage? Does it, is it something that my family can fit into? All of those things, I swear, all of them were on the road.
Mm-hmm.
I came home one day and I was like, "Max, can you believe how many of these cars are on the road?" And he's like, "Well, honey, I think they've always been on the road. You just are now seeing them."
Yep.
So that's an easy explanation of what you focus on expands. And that goes into your personal life, your friendship. It goes to the goals that you want to set. I actually wake up every day and I think in my head of exactly where I want to be in a year, where I want to be in 5 years, because what I'm focusing on will expand. And whatever needs to happen in my life, the people that need to come into my life, I personally believe that if you're focusing on it, it miraculously happens.
Yep.
Those people pop in at different times when you need them. You may not have been so open to it if you hadn't really been focusing on it.
100%.
Yeah. So when Gary Keller talked about that, I was just like, he's so right. He's so right. So many times I went back in my life and I'm like, he's so right.
Mm-hmm.
Now, it can go the other way too.
Yeah.
It can go
Negative.
Yeah. I have a couple really lovely people in my life, but I call them Eeyore, because they never focus on the good. They're always focusing on the bad. And this one wonderful person, I called them up and I had recommended a particular vendor to fix something in their house. And I wanted to find out if it turned out okay, because I recommended this person. They get on the phone and so I'm like, "Hey, how did that go?" "Oh, it was great." And I'm like, "Oh, wow, Eeyore has turned the corner." And I'm like, "Okay, great." She said, "Yeah, everything went great. We fixed the leak. He was great. He was wonderful. Yeah, thank you for the recommendation." And I was about to say, "Oh, good," and hang up. But no. Now the focus on the negative happens. Well, this is probably not going to last very long because the other one only lasted 5 years. So I think this is only going to be a couple years. And I don't know if that guy's going to stay in business. I mean, there were a couple weird things that he said on the phone with his front office. It doesn't sound like they're 100%. And I'm thinking, how in heaven's name can you turn something that was such a good thing into such a focus of negative? And it's funny because this particular person, since I'm so close with them, everything goes bad for them. I'm not kidding.
Well, because they're shifting in a negative way. So they're looking at the negative.
Yes.
So
yes.
Even if something good happens, it's still bad in their mind.
And and it really, stuff does happen. Like if the tree branch is going to fall and hit anybody's house, it hits this person's house.
Oh my goodness.
If there's going to be a weird leak, and I really think that's because they focus on negative and therefore that's what happens.
Well, you're attracting it.
There you go.
Because if you're not in the headspace, like my explanation of path is in the math. If I come to work and had a bad day yesterday and I'm going to be negative, I'm not going to be producing, everything's going to tick me off. But if I come in fired up and I'm focusing on growing our company, looking at our goals, I'm going to have better results. Like that's just path is in the math right there.
Yep.
Like I'm going to have results if I come to produce.
And what you focus on expands.
100%.
Yeah. So I love these bold truths. Emily and I are absolute believers in this. Mm-hmm. We will definitely put them all in the show notes below. We just kind of gave you our favorite.
Yeah. They're all my favorite. I like all of them.
They are great. And hopefully we'll have another podcast where we'll talk about some of the others too.
Yep.
And one of the tricks is bring it into your personal relationships. Bring it into your office. Get everybody on board with this. And then your vocabulary always goes to the bold truths.
Sure.
And that's one of the secrets that I got that, incorporate it fully into your life.
It then becomes ingrained in your brain.
Yep. Ingrained in your brain. I love that.
Yeah. 10. Love is always Emily. The answer. If you're being hateful, that always pops into my brain. Love is always the answer.
There you
Point
go.
blank, it just becomes ritualistic kind of.
Yep.
Same with elevate.
Yep.
I'm sure you've talked about that
culture.
too. Yeah.
Exactly. Well, I loved having you as a co-host.
Thank you, Jenni.
And as always, we are so thankful and grateful that you guys listen to Thoughts for Rent, Realtors Keeping It Real. This is our episode. If there's anything that you would like us to talk about, feel free to notify us, get a hold of us, let us know. If you want to share this episode, we would love that and subscribe. So we'll catch you next time. And remember, real estate's about more than keys and contracts. Mm-hmm. It's about mindset, growth, and keeping it real.
Couldn't have said it better.
Thanks, Emily.
Oh, there you go. Sound good? Okay, good. I'll pass over to Ireland. Here you go, Ken.
Thanks, Pops.